Every millionaire agrees on this. The hardest money you will ever make is your first $100,000. But here is the good news. Once you know the blueprint, you can reach that milestone faster than most people think possible. Today, I am giving you the exact 100K blueprint, the mindset, the steps, and the strategies that take you from survival mode to six figures in the shortest time possible. Because the moment you hit $100,000, the wealth game changes forever. Most people never reach $100,000. Not because they are lazy, not because they lack intelligence, but because they use strategies that take decades instead of strategies that take years. Under $100,000, you are stuck in survival mode. Bills, debt, rent, constant financial stress. You are hustling harder, but your money still feels fragile. At $100,000, everything shifts. Compounding finally matters. Opportunities open up that were invisible before. Your brain stops obsessing over survival and starts planning for wealth. But here is what nobody tells you. Most people try to invest their way there with small amounts. They try to save their way there with expense cutting. They try to salary their way there with promotions. These strategies work, but they are painfully slow. The 100K blueprint gives you faster vehicles that compress your timeline from decades to years. Your financial future depends on how quickly you can reach this threshold. Every year you delay is another year you stay in survival mode instead of wealth-building mode. So what is the first step to escape this cycle? It starts with choosing the right vehicle. The first part of the 100K blueprint is choosing your vehicle, and this decision determines how fast you reach six figures. There are three main paths to $100,000, ranked by speed. Path 1 is high-income skills. Freelancing, sales, copywriting, coding, design, consulting. This is the fastest path because you can start earning high rates immediately once you build the skill. Path 2 is business or side hustle, e-commerce, coaching, services, digital products. This takes longer to build but can scale higher than freelancing. Path 3 is investing in real estate, but this only works after you have built strong income from paths 1 or 2. Here is the key insight that changes everything. You do not need 10 vehicles. You need one vehicle that you master completely. Most people stay broke because they spread themselves too thin. They try a little freelancing, a little e-commerce, a little crypto, a little real estate. They never go deep enough in any one area to break through. If you want to hit $100,000 fast, pick one vehicle and go all in until you reach six figures. Do not get distracted by other opportunities. Do not chase shiny objects. Do not switch strategies every few months. Wealth is built through focus, not diversification. Diversification comes after you have built wealth, not before. The millionaires I know got rich by becoming excellent at one thing first. Then they diversified after crossing six figures. But picking your vehicle is only the beginning. Once you know your path, you need to understand how money actually flows to six figures. The second step of the blueprint is focusing on cash flow instead of compounding. This is where most smart people get the strategy completely wrong. When you are broke, compounding does not move the needle fast enough. A 10% return on $1,000 is only $100 that will not change your life or your timeline. Your first $100,000 comes from active income, not passive income. This means stacking cash through business or high-income skills, then saving aggressively. Here is a real example. A freelance copywriter who charges $500 per project only needs 200 projects in a year to hit $100,000. That is about 4 clients per week. That is absolutely achievable. Compare that to someone trying to invest their way to $100,000, starting with $2,000. Even with 10% annual returns, it would take decades. Another example. A virtual assistant who charges $50 per hour only needs to work 40 hours a week at that rate to make $100,000 annually. That is one high-paying client. The blueprint says build cash flow first, then use investing to accelerate once you already have capital to invest. This is not about avoiding investing forever. This is about using the right strategy for your current financial position. When you have $1,000, focus on earning more, not investing better. When you have $100,000, then focus on investing smarter to accelerate your wealth. Most people get this backward. They try to optimize their investment returns when they should be optimizing their income generation. Now that you understand cash flow comes first, the question becomes, how do you actually generate that high income? The answer lies in what you trade your time for. Here is what nobody tells you about getting rich. This is where smart people get stuck and why most never break through to six figures. Smart people try to trade time for money directly. But at the start, your time is better invested in building a skill that multiplies your earning power. Because skills are what convert your hours into dollars at high rates. Here is how the wealth building sequence actually works. First, you trade time for skills. You learn sales, design, marketing, coding, or a craft that people will pay premium rates for. Then you trade skills for money. Instead of earning $15 per hour, you earn $100 per hour because you can create value that others cannot create. Think about Maria, who spent her evenings learning copywriting while working her day job. Within 6 months, she was charging $500 per sales page. Within 12 months, she was making $6,000 per month from freelance work. That path got Maria to 6 figures in under 2 years. Meanwhile, her coworkers who just worked overtime were still making the same hourly rates. The blueprint is simple but powerful. Skills are your shortcut to high income. Without valuable skills, you stay trapped in low-paying time for money exchanges. This is why wealthy people invest in education and skill development first. They know that one high-income skill can generate more wealth than a lifetime of minimum wage work. Your earning potential is directly tied to your skill level. Increase your skills, increase your income. It is that straightforward. But even with high-income skills, there is a ceiling to how much you can earn trading time for money. That is where the next step becomes crucial. Once you have hit your first $30,000 to $50,000, it is time to scale. And the way you scale to 6 figures is with leverage. Leverage means using money, tools, or people to multiply your results without multiplying your hours worked. Here are the 3 types of leverage that accelerate you to $100,000. Tool leverage is software that automates what you would normally do manually. Email automation, scheduling software, project management systems that save you hours every week. People leverage is outsourcing tasks that eat your time but do not grow your income. Virtual assistants, freelancers, contractors who handle the work that keeps you busy but not wealthy. System leverage is processes that let your business or skill run smoothly without your constant effort. Sales funnels, recurring revenue models, scalable service delivery. Here is a real example of leverage in action. Tom is a freelance web designer making $4,000 per month. He reinvests $500 into a virtual assistant who handles his emails, proposals, and client scheduling. Suddenly, Tom has 15 extra hours per week to take on more clients instead of managing administrative tasks. His income jumps to $7,000 per month within 60 days. That is people leverage multiplying his results. The $500 investment generated an additional $3,000 monthly. That is a 600% return on investment. Another example, Lisa runs a coaching business making $6,000 per month. She invests $2,000 in email automation software and sales funnel setup. Now her marketing runs automatically, bringing in new clients while she sleeps. Her income scales to $10,000 per month because she is no longer trading hours for dollars in her marketing. That is tool and system leverage working together. Lisa bought back her time and multiplied her income simultaneously. This is how you accelerate from $50,000 to $100,000. You reinvest your profits in leverage that multiplies your capacity instead of just saving the money. But leverage without a clear timeline becomes wishful thinking. You need milestones to track your progress and maintain momentum. The last piece of the blueprint is creating milestones that keep you motivated and on track. Because $100,000 can feel overwhelming if you think of it as one giant leap. Here is how to break down your 6-figure journey into achievable milestones. First milestone is $10,000. This is your proof of concept. You know your vehicle works and you can generate meaningful income from your chosen path. At $10,000, your psychology changes. You believe that building wealth is possible. You have evidence that your strategy creates results. Second milestone is $50,000. This proves you have consistency and real momentum. You are not just having beginner luck. You have built a reliable income system. At $50,000, you become confident. You know you can repeat your success and scale it higher. You start thinking like someone who builds wealth instead of someone who struggles with money. Third milestone is $100,000. You have proven you can create serious wealth. You have crossed into six-figure territory and unlocked the acceleration that happens after this threshold. At $100,000, you are completely transformed. You think differently about money, risk, and opportunity. You have joined the ranks of people who control their financial destiny. Each milestone changes your identity and your approach to wealth building. This is why tracking progress in stages matters more than just focusing on the final number. Your brain needs wins along the way to maintain motivation and build the confidence required for bigger moves. Set specific deadlines for each milestone. If you can generate $5,000 per month, you hit $50,000 in 10 months. If you can generate $8,000 per month, you hit $100,000 in 12 to 15 months. Create urgency around your timeline. Every month you delay is another month you stay below your potential income level. Now you know the complete blueprint. But knowing and doing are completely different. Here is exactly how to put this into action starting today. This week, you are going to commit to your 100K path and take the first concrete step. First, pick your vehicle right now. High-income skills, business, or investing. Stop dabbling in multiple strategies. Choose one and commit until you reach six figures. If you choose high-income skills, pick copywriting, sales, web design, or marketing consulting. Spend the next 30 days learning, then start charging immediately. If you choose business, pick coaching, e-commerce, digital products, or services. Focus on getting your first 10 customers before expanding. Second, set your milestone deadlines today. Write down when you will hit $10,000, $50,000, and $100,000. Make these dates real and urgent. Third, take action this week. If you chose freelancing, contact 5 potential clients. If you chose business, talk to 10 potential customers and validate your idea. Comment below with your commitment. Say my 100K vehicle is business, freelancing, or skills. That public declaration creates accountability and inspires others to commit too. Stop researching. Stop planning. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start building wealth this week. Because every week you delay is another week someone else captures the opportunities you are thinking about. Your future wealth depends on how quickly you implement this blueprint today. You now have the complete 100K blueprint. 5 steps that compress your timeline from decades to years. The hardest money you will ever make is your first $100,000. After that, wealth accelerates through compound growth and better opportunities. You are no longer someone who hopes to build wealth someday. You are someone who implements systems immediately because speed determines your financial future. If you want more frameworks that decode millionaire psychology and turn them into practical tools, subscribe to this channel right now. Every video gives you psychology-backed systems for building real wealth faster. Stop thinking in millions. Start thinking in $100,000. Pick your vehicle, set your timeline, and start building today.